Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? We were just here with the TJ Holmes saga, but we're back again. My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you guys are very welcome. Just the other day, we were talking about TJ Holmes and what was the girl's name? Some intern, some 24-year-old intern. I forget her name. And as I uploaded that video for you guys, I was getting it from you, Fumi Nation, in the news that Amy is blindsided by all the affairs that he's had in the office over the years. That is one. And that TJ had yet another affair with an intern, making it now number 5. So what do we have? We had Natasha. Remember Natasha? That was the 3-year affair. He had that. Then he had Jasmine, number 2. Then he has this intern, which we're talking about. He has Amy, number 4. And then he had another intern that rejected his advances. As far as I'm concerned, the mere fact that we are on number 5, for me, it means number 15. Because these are the ones we know about. There have to be another 20 that we don't know about. And so, well, this came from page 6. Let me read for you so that you can hear the details, and then I'll go from there. Yeah. Still suspended, GMA3 co-host TJ Holmes had a suspected in-office romp with another junior staffer. A source exclusively tells page 6. The insider claims the alleged encounter occurred in 2015. The same year, a then married Holmes allegedly had a months-long affair with subordinate Jasmine Pataway, whom he allegedly had sex with in his office. The second woman, whose identity we have chosen not to disclose, has yet to respond to our numerous requests for comment. Our source tells us she was in her mid-20s and worked as an overnight associate producer at ABC at the time of the alleged encounter. Holmes, now 45, and the staffer, who is no longer with the network, were allegedly in his office sometime after 3 a.m. with the door closed. We are told a bunch of rustling could be heard coming from inside the room, and that the woman emerged looking completely flushed and like a deer in headlights. It's unclear whether the staffer ever reported the alleged encounter to HR. He was in a position of power over her, our source tells us. I do think it was like, here's this good-looking young girl and she's here in my office, let me make a move sort of thing, the insider adds, describing the situation as similar to Pataway's. Reps for Holmes declined to comment, and ABC did not immediately respond to page 6's inquiries. Last week, a source who was reportedly close with Pataway, a 24-year-old script coordinator at the time, alleged to Daily Mail that the first time Holmes got sexual with her was in his office, only a couple of hours before he was set to go live on air. They had sex, and I know she was confused afterwards as to what it meant, the source claimed, calling Holmes a predator who took full advantage of his position. Reps for Holmes declined to comment on the Pataway allegations, while an ABC insider previously told page 6 that there was already an internal investigation underway into if anything happened between TJ and Jasmine Pataway. Pataway did not return our calls. Holmes' workplace behavior first made headlines in November 2022 when his month-long affair with his then-married GMA3 co-anchor Amy Robach was revealed. After the network launched an investigation into the nature of the colleagues' relationship, it was reported that Holmes allegedly had romances with other employees, including married producer Natasha Singh. Holmes and Amy are equals, our insider noted last week. But if he did have an affair with an underling, that is a definite case for dismissal. Though Holmes and Robach are currently dating, she was reportedly blindsided by the scope of TJ's alleged past office romances. Is she kidding me? Amy, are you kidding me? When you were the go-between for TJ and Merrily when he was having a 3-year affair with Natasha, and you are talking about I'm blindsided. This is a man who is not faithful to his wife. You knew that. And as we have found out with all of this coming out, you knew. You absolutely knew. You sat down there with your then husband, Andrew Shue, talking about we are better together with a blended family, and you were sleeping with TJ and TJ was sleeping with you, and you thought that you're going to be exclusive with TJ. The same TJ, like I said, you were a go-between for himself and Merrily, because he had a 3-year affair with Natasha. What are you talking about? You of all people had a front row seat to know how TJ was. We are all sitting and waiting to see what ABC will do. We haven't even gotten there yet. And all of this has come out. And now you, that has given up everything. For TJ, you are blindsided. You know, women are very funny. We are funny. We are very funny in the sense that we really don't support each other. We really don't. Do you know that if a sister, Fumi Nation, comes to me and says, you know what, her man cheated on her, I will believe her. I will support her. I will stand by her. Amy is not a sister. She's not. She's not. Because she thinks I can give TJ everything that Merrily didn't. Instead of spinning it around and saying, TJ, you're wrong. For Merrily to feel like this, to be like this, I think I'm going to support a sister. Because her sister, she married you, she's building and wants a life with you. I think that the situation comes from you, TJ. But no, we don't care. We think, you know what? That was Natasha. No, nothing. That was Merrily. No, nothing. And I have to bring it up again. Amy and her husband, Andrew, came and they launched their book, Better Together. And it was TJ who was sitting there talking about we're very good friends. We're very close friends. And poor Andrew was sitting down there. I know he must be so disappointed because you can get angry. There are levels of all of this. But then you're disappointed that, wow, Amy, you put me through that. You flaunted your affair in front of me, unbeknownst to me. You did that to me when I loved you. Regardless of whatever issues we've had or we have, that you did that to me on air. Andrew, I promise you, I'll be like, Amy, take the dog. It's okay. I don't need to see you. Take the dog. Let our lawyers handle it. While we're on the subject, this will be the last episode I'm going to do about TJ up until we hear what's going on with ABC. We have yet a 5th staffer, and just like Jasmine, who didn't divulge this affair, Daily Mail got the information, and I am sure Jasmine is crawling wherever she is because she's married now. Her life has moved on, and in a way it's sad because she's been thrown into all of this in a sense because of her past mistake, because it's a mistake. You've moved on, hey, whatever. You try to make better of yourself. But Jasmine and girls out there, do you see how this thing can come back and bite you in the butt? While you have moved on with your life, you got a brand, you got a husband, you ain't got nothing to do with this. This other staffer said, you're not going to put me down there. Because again, the staffer, as young as she is, she knew what she was doing. I don't care how many staffers TJ slept with. The staffers have to take accountability for what they did. And I also read in the papers, they were describing TJ as a predator. I disagree. I think he just can't keep it in his pants. But I sincerely believe that he has enough girls he can get, or that are throwing themselves at him. He doesn't have to hunt. Well, remember, Jasmine went to him to ask for mentorship. It was when Jasmine was in front of him that he paid attention to her, and he was like, yeah, she's okay, let me jump into her pants too. I think that's what he does. He just jumps into people's pants. But I don't think he's a predator. And I'm not going to call him that. He's a dog. And while we're on that subject, something came over me. Why are all of these infidelities coming out now? Is TJ being set up so that they make it a point to not bring him back, use that as leverage to not bring him back, to get rid of him? Why is it that we're not hearing enough about Amy, about her past infidelities? Because I know she's had a couple. Apparently, she was even seeing Matt Lauer. Talking about Matt Lauer, I now have a funny feeling that these infidelities and rompers in the office at ABC is commonplace. That TJ is not the only one at GME3, not the only one at Disney, not the only one at ABC. That for TJ to have been doing all of this, he also saw it. Because you wouldn't have the guts to do this if there was a zero tolerance policy. He has drinks in his office. He has a wet bar in his office. Matt Lauer was able to lock his door from his desk. So when you walked in, you were trapped. I believe that there's a club. And these are what the guys do up in there. And so when TJ came in there, he was like, oh wow, I can get away, I can do whatever I want to do. I can stay here and play till 3 a.m. in the morning under the guise of following a breaking story. And I think that because it was commonplace, the interns, even though I still insist you could have walked away, there was pressure. They wanted the job. They wanted to keep the job. So they went along with it. But there are other anchors out there. There are other top anchors out there that you could have reported it to. You could have reported it to human resources. And let me say this to my young staffers. I know that it can be scary. But you will be the one, that one that has the guts to do it is the one that will change the game. Because human resources hands are now tied. Because if that did take place, it doesn't matter how high up you are. You will have to take accountability to what this young intern is saying. But I believe, I truly believe that a lot of male anchors, I don't know, I couldn't point my finger to any. I do believe that that is what they were doing. And we will wait to see if TJ will spill the beans and squeal on the others. But he had to have allies that covered for him, that covered for him against Merrily coming there, or when Merrily will just happenstance drop by. I do it with Ula. Sometimes I'm in that area where I have stuff that I'm doing and I'll say, let me just drop by Ula's office. Ula, do you want lunch? Okay, fine, no problem. I'm here in the office. I know Knut, I know James, I know John. I know them. They know me. And I believe that is the kind of setup over at GMA3. So you can imagine one time or the other, they would have covered for him. We read how he was very handsy-feely. He had his ring on. He just didn't seem to care. At GMA, that they would go for drinks or whatever. He had somebody covering for him just the way he was covering for others. This right here is a club. It's a club. And I believe that they are releasing all of these stories and giving it to Page 6. Say, you know what, we got this story. Roll it out. Because they want to get rid of him. Because he was reckless, he was careless, and he made this public. And so we can't cover you anymore. Let me know in the comment section if I'm being too dramatic. Just let me know. Put A as in I absolutely agree, or put N, no for me, I think it's a reach. Because I'm just thinking about this. This is yet another story of him having an affair in the office that we know of. But he was also confident and he was getting away with it. And the staffers were seeing that nothing was coming of it. And perhaps the staffers felt that, who do we report to when everybody's doing it? It gives me pause. Are they setting him up? I don't know. Is he guilty? 110%. And I've said this in the 3 episodes that I've done about TJ. I'm not letting TJ off lightly. He's ruined his reputation. And he will have to build that back over time. Matt Lauer did this, 3 years ago? We haven't heard from him since. And I think it's going to take a minute before we can look at him while he reads the news. So TJ right here, he got his. I've already expressed how I feel about TJ. I don't have anything else to say about TJ. TJ, you're a dog. You know, somebody said community peen. That's what it is. Maybe TJ has an issue from childhood. God only knows. The reason why you would want to sleep with women like this, and there's no attachment, there's no depth, you just sleep with women, you know, dogging around, then you have an issue, and that's serious. I'm being serious now. Then you have an issue, and that issue has to be sorted out. You have to go to therapy and figure out the reason why you're doing this. You have to do this because you've got daughters and they are watching you. That's what children do. They don't necessarily listen to us. They watch us. They watch us and they copy us because we are their idols. They idolize us. They think that we are bigger than anything. We are greater than anything because we protect them. We solve their problems. We play with them. We take care of them. And so they idolize us. And girls idolize their fathers. And boys idolize their mothers. So somewhere along the line, you saw this. You saw a man treating women this way. And you are doing the same thing. You saw it. I think I've told you the story. I'll say it again. There was a father who was very wealthy. He was a workaholic. He had a bad temper. He was a drunkard. And he slept with women. Upon his death, his 2 sons were walking away from the funeral. And an old man saw them coming. And he asked each of them a question. As the first son came forward with his wife, well dressed, and his children in tow, an old man asked him, "Why are you the way that you are?" And he said, "It is because of what I saw." He walked away. The second son, divorced, a drunkard. He looked like he was still wearing yesterday's clothes, in and out of jobs, bad-tempered. The old man asked him, "Why are you the way that you are?" And he answered, "It was what I was shown." Do you see the flip of the coin? And that is very true with siblings. That is very true with children. What they see and what they are shown shapes them to be the adults that they become. That's why I'm a huge advocate for doing your very best to raise your children well. This is why I am so worried about Christian and Blueface, because Christian is pregnant. I did an episode a couple of days back. It is the baby, this innocent baby, that is going to be shown and going to be seen all the things that's going to shape that child into an adult, and for that child to also have their own issues which will lead them down the road to therapy. Well, hopefully therapy. All of my love, my darlings. I will not be addressing TJ until there is news. Maybe what I'm trying to say is that if he has any more affairs with interns and young staffers, I'm not going to be addressing it because we now know who he is and there's even more. So what's the point? But I wanted to come out here to say, I don't know if TJ is being set up now, and I for sure have a very, very, very strong feeling that there was a lot of rumpus going on at ABC, GMA, Disney, and we kind of sort of know it because we saw Matt Lauer. So it's interesting to see how this will all play out. Will TJ tell us? Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. All of my love, darlings. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and share. I guess so. Oh yeah, super thanks. Over there. Okay. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. Oh, that's fabulous.